more and more rules and regulations and confiscatory taxes, the government was taking more of our money, more of our options, and more of our freedom. I went into politics in part to put up my hand and say, stop. I was a citizen politician, and it seemed the right thing for a citizen to do. I think we have stopped a lot of what needed stopping. And I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited.
Let me just say one other thing. I've heard for a great many years that we can't possibly reduce taxes. This is Washington's cry.
I agree.
We can't reduce taxes until we reduce government spending. And I have to point out that government does not tax to get the money it needs. Government always needs the money it gets. Now, your son can be extravagant with his allowance, and you can lecture him day after day about saving money and not being extravagant, or you can solve the problem by cutting his allowance.
At the same time, however, they must be made to understand we will never compromise our principles and standards. We will never give away our freedom. We will never abandon our belief in God.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Our Republican ideals are derived from our understanding of spiritual and natural laws, of right and wrong, of cause and effect, of pragmatism and idealism. And while we all have slightly different understandings, certain truths we do indeed find self-evident. These truths are well understood, embraced, and expressed in our nation's past, and transcend the boundaries of continents, politics, and religion. Throughout the world, we feel truth in our hearts, and know it when we see it, and it's something the best in us strives towards.
So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.
Yeah.
It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
That any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
Our Republican principles are guided by our moral compass of truth. They guide us in creating and maintaining a better society, one that is free, wise, and prosperous. These are our Republican principles. 1. First and foremost, we believe in individual freedom, personal liberty, and the constitutional protection of our natural God-given rights. The Bill of Rights, which was added to our Constitution, didn't give us rights. It reminded us that these rights are ours to start with, and prohibits our government from encroaching upon them. 2. We believe the family is the very basis on which our society is founded. We believe in strong conservative family values. We must love, honor, nurture, grow, support, and defend our families and communities as best we can as upright people. 3. We believe in the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for those born and unborn. We strive for a world where all human life is valued from the moment of conception until natural death. 4. We believe in a limited, non-interventionist government and the phasing out of unconstitutional programs. 5. We believe that all rights and all legitimate power flow from the people, first to the states and then to the federal government, not the other way around. Any authority improperly presumed by the federal government must always be returned first to the states and then to the people from whence it rightly emanates. 6. We believe that proper personal and governmental fiscal responsibility requires spending within our means and the reduction or outright elimination of many, if not most, current taxes and debts. 7. We believe in national sovereignty and independence. The United States is its own country, and unless and until the people advocate, debate, vote, and amend our Constitution, we shall not be subject to laws and regulations chosen by others who live in other lands. We believe the federal government is responsible for protecting our borders and enforcing our laws. 8. We support sustainable and lawful tourism and immigration as an ongoing benefit for our country, but we do not favor allowing and supporting millions of illegal immigrants and the accompanying abuse of our economy, privileges, and legal system. 9. We uphold and defend the rights of property owners. Personal property should never be taken without due process and fair compensation, and property so taken should never be given over for private use to anyone except the original owner. 10. We believe that the protection of our inalienable rights, including individual liberty and privacy, free speech and assembly, presentations of evidence and trial by a jury of peers, the right of individuals to bear arms, and all other constitutional rights, is the sacred responsibility of our government. What do these vital principles give us? As Republicans, we commend those who live and breathe these conservative values and principles. We respect and support those who have the integrity to stand by their conservative principles, even when they stand against great opposition. But doing what's right isn't always easy. Integrity is a quality not commonly found among today's politicians. In fact, a majority of the American electorate find politicians to be a constant source of dissatisfaction and a ready excuse for their increase in apathy.
Putting America back to work means putting all Americans back to work. Ending inflation means freeing all Americans from the terror of runaway living costs. All must share in the productive work of this new beginning, and all must share in the bounty of a revived economy. With the idealism and fair play which are the core of our system and our strength, we can have a strong and prosperous America at peace with itself and the world. Let us take inventory. We are a nation that has a government, not the other way around. And this makes us special among the nations of the earth. Our government has no power except that granted it by the people. It is time to check and reverse the growth of government, which shows signs of having grown beyond the consent of the governed. All of us need to be reminded that the federal government did not create the states. The states created the federal government. It is no coincidence that our present troubles parallel and are proportionate to the intervention and intrusion in our lives that result from unnecessary and excessive growth of government. It is time for us to realize that we're too great a nation to limit ourselves to small dreams. We're not, as some would have us believe, doomed to an inevitable decline. I do not believe in a fate that will fall on us no matter what we do. I do believe in a fate that will fall on us if we do nothing. Those who say that we're in a time when there are no heroes, they just don't know where to look. On the eve of our struggle for independence, a man who might have been one of the greatest among the founding fathers, Dr. Joseph Warren, President of the Massachusetts Congress, said to his fellow Americans, "Our country is in danger, but not to be despaired of. On you depend the